Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Adelita Grijalva, candidate for Arizona's 7th Congressional District, and I'm proud to stand with all of you alongside Senator Mark Kelly and former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, and so many powerful voices from our community to say loud and clear, hands off Medicaid. Medicaid covers over 2 million Arizonans, including 357,900 in Arizona's 7th District. This is over a third of Arizona's children, over a half of Arizona nursing home residents, and half of Arizona's birth. But despite its importance, congressional Republicans are currently advancing a bill that cuts $716 billion from Medicaid to pay for enormous tax handouts to millionaires and billionaires. 750,000 Arizonans would lose their health insurance if the Republican bill becomes law, and put many hospitals at risk of closure, especially rural hospitals. For millions of Arizonans, children, seniors, people with disabilities, and working families, Medicaid is more than a program. It's a lifeline. It means a child with asthma can see a doctor. It means a grandparent can afford their medication. It means a parent doesn't have to choose between rent and care. Threats to Medicaid are threats to our communities. And I won't stand idly by while congressional Republicans try to slash it from everyday people. That's why we're here today, to share that our community wants Republicans hands off of Medicaid. If passed, this bill will devastate the 224 million women and 40 million children enrolled in Medicaid. Medicaid is the largest provider of maternal and reproductive health care and would rip Medicaid funds from our community health centers and care clinics like Planned Parenthood. For our kids, this assault on Medicaid would have a major negative impact. For example, over the past 5 years, Tucson Unified School District has received nearly $16 million in federal funding through Medicaid school-based claiming. To meet requirements of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, Medicaid covers about 20% of the district's investments to reach these important requirements. Our public schools are severely underfunded. Cutting more would be detrimental to serving our future leaders. This hits home for Arizona hospitals. According to the Arizona Hospital Association, Medicaid cuts would disproportionately impact rural hospitals, critical access hospitals, small rural facilities with fewer than 25 inpatient beds. They rely heavily on Medicaid reimbursement to stay afloat. Their communities need them. How can we force patients to travel even greater distances for urgent needs like stroke and heart attack? The bottom line is that Republicans are taking away health coverage and they are denying the most basic health care to people in order to pay for trillions of dollars in tax cuts to the wealthiest Americans. I've spent my life fighting for families, as Senator Kelly, former Representative Gabby Giffords, and everyone around me has. I did it as a school board member, a county supervisor, and a mom. I'm running for Congress to keep up that fight, and today I'm here to stand shoulder to shoulder with you all to protect Medicaid and protect dignity of every person in our state. Thank you so much for being here and for your time. I know it's a very busy time with graduations and promotions and all kinds of fun stuff, and I want to thank you all because this issue is very important. So now I am honored to introduce former Representative and my friend Gabby Giffords.
Our lives can change so quickly. Mine did when I was shot. But I never gave up hope. I chose to make a new start, to move ahead, to not look back. I'm relearning so many things, how to walk, how to talk, and I'm fighting to make the country safer. It can be so difficult. Losses hurt. Setbacks are hard, but I tell myself, move ahead. I'm finding joy in small things, ride my bike, playing the French horn, going to the gym, laughing with friends, the small things add up. We are living challenging times. We're up for the challenge. My own recovery has taken years. Many people have helped me along the way, and I learned so much. I learned that people care for each other and work together, progress is possible. A better world is possible. But change doesn't happen overnight, and we can't do it alone. Join me, let's move ahead together. Thank you very much, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your support, Gabby. I really appreciate your leadership. Next, we are joined by our Arizona Senator, Mark Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you, Adelita.
Thank you, sir.
And Gabby is up to the challenge, more so than anybody that I know. So thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a great day, not too hot yet. And we're here to talk about affordable health care, specifically Medicaid. Now, every Arizonan, regardless of where they live, who they are, deserve access to quality, affordable health care. But Donald Trump and Republicans in Congress want to slash Medicaid to pay for tax cuts for rich people. And they finally rolled out their plan this week. I don't know how many people here had a chance to take a look at it. They've advanced this through the first step in the committee, had a little rough patch this morning. They're going to continue to work on that in the House of Representatives. And it takes a few steps to ultimately get this thing done. And it does a number of things. It's likely to freeze state provider taxes, which is really important to providers, to hospitals. It could cap direct payments. It would raise the cost sharing for hospitals and providers. And these steps, they're designed to actually sound complicated. But here is what this means in our state. Arizona's kids and seniors in nursing homes and working families are going to get kicked off of their health care. Kicked off. The latest estimate that we just got this week, I had my staff working on this to try to figure it out, but it appears that about 190,000 Arizonans will lose their health insurance. And what that means is, that means fewer appointments for kids with their pediatricians. That means fewer checkups for pregnant mothers. That means nursing home care. And by the way, about 90% of seniors who are in nursing homes are on Medicaid. That nursing home care is at jeopardy. It's also going to come with higher premiums for people who still have insurance. It's going to increase their out-of-pocket costs. For a lot of folks, even if they don't get kicked off of their health care, their costs are going to go up. And these aren't just numbers we pulled off of a spreadsheet. These are our neighbors and our friends. And these are their kids and their aging parents as well. These are victims of gun violence. You know, something very personal to me and Gabby and to this community here in Tucson. And for every person who is shot and killed in the United States, more than 2 others are shot and survive. But they often have very serious injuries that can take more than just an emergency room to overcome. And for many of these folks, Medicaid is their only option for coverage. And all of this is to give a giant tax cut for the richest people in our country, the people who do not need a big tax cut. Now, under their plan, I've seen different estimates. The one we got today, the top 1% is going to get about a $60,000 tax cut per year. The other day I saw that number at $100,000, so figure it's probably somewhere between the two. And this plan, this brilliant plan of theirs, is going to add trillions of dollars to our national debt. The promise of America is that if you work hard, do the right things for you and your family, that you can get ahead. That's the American dream. But with rising prices on everything from housing to education and groceries, that dream is getting further and further away. And this plan from Donald Trump and House and Senate Republicans is going to make that dream a much steeper climb. It's going to take health care away and food assistance away from working Arizonans who are just trying to make ends meet. It's going to leave them and possibly their kids and their parents uninsured. And that's devastating. Seniors could be kicked out of nursing homes. I've had these conversations with people in the nursing home business who do not know what they're going to do if the Medicaid funding stops for their patients. And at the top of this, the richest Americans and the wealthiest corporations, they get a pretty good deal. They get a giant tax cut. This couldn't be more backwards. Now, I'm doing everything I can to stop this, including traveling around the state to hear from Arizonans, to lift up their stories. There was a woman I met in Phoenix not too long ago, about 6 weeks ago maybe, at a town hall that we did, that Ruben Gallego and I did, where she's got a kid that she adopted out of foster care, who's on Medicaid. And when you adopt a kid from foster care, their health care is paid through Medicaid. And she said, it feels like the Republicans are burning down my house and my kids are still inside. That's how this made her feel. Now, it only takes a few Republicans in the House or the Senate who are willing to say no to stop this. So I'm calling on them to do that. Some are stepping up. We'll see how many have the courage to oppose the president's top priority, which is this giant tax giveaway to the wealthy. But we need more fighters in the House. We need fighters like Adelita. She understands what working folks in southern Arizona are going through. She's lived this her whole life. She's got tremendous experience representing this community. And she is always going to put Arizonans first as she serves in Congress. So thank you for running. And I'm saying this in advance, but thank you for winning too.
And thank you to all the speakers and community members who've joined us today to speak on this urgent and vital issue, for lending your voices, your stories, and your strength to this fight. Thank you all for being here. Yes, let's give them a round of applause. We've made it clear, Medicaid saves lives, it lifts up families, and it must be protected. This isn't just a policy, it's personal. And together we're going to make sure that every person in Arizona gets the care they need and the dignity they deserve. Let's keep showing up, keep speaking out, and keep fighting, because our communities are worth it. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure everyone is available for individual questions.